from Hollywood and from all over the world to entertain you on a giant screen with the few colorful motion pictures you've been hearing about and reading
It's
about.
showtime, folks. Enjoy the show.
We're delighted to have you with us. They're driving theater.
You'll find something to please you to add to your evening's enjoyment.
Is pleased to bring you our feature presentation.
What's up, guys? How's it going? It's Monday. It's October. It's October, what is this, 12th? It's October 12th. We're in the middle of October.
Yeah.
Right smack up in it. Just like smack up in there. How is that a thing? Right smack in the middle. Why is it smack in the middle? Why is it not
Because
just...
when you lay the map out on the table, you're like, there it is. Like
There's the middle.
Like in the movie, and they
Pop.
just slap the hell
Here.
out of it.
And there's an X, and then that's where we're going to strike. Well, we're right smack in the middle of October. You're tuned into the Drive-In Speakerbox. We talk about movies. It's what we do. I'm your host, Bo, the boom operator.
And I'm Jake, the grill.
And, yeah.
That was aggressive.
Yeah, just crushing it. And we've got, it's getting spookier and spookier in here, like we've been talking about. It's October. We're sitting here. We got our little Halloween mugs, if you're tuned into the live stream.
Scary boys.
And, I brought some blow molds, got some vintage Halloween decor, getting into the mood. Because, man, it's been Halloween all month over at Pinpoint down here in Fayetteville, Arkansas. If you haven't had a chance to go check out Nightmare on Block Street, it's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool.
What was your favorite part?
You know what? I checked out the Nightmare on Elm Street booth the other day.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. It's still that Friday the 13th booth.
The Friday the 13th
You know what, though?
booth just
But, like,
feels right.
Nightmare on Elm Street's probably like out of like real horror, probably like my favorite ones, just because Robert Englund's so good.
It's hilarious. I've tried to tell.
Yeah, well, Freddy's funny,
He's
even
fun.
though he's like a
He's super funny.
pedophile murder guy, but he's so funny. You know,
he's-
because Robert Englund is a great actor.
And he's funny. He's a funny dude.
He's a funny dude.
just a
Watch
funny dude.
Paper Brigade. Robert Englund's great.
Funny dude.
So I liked that. I liked seeing that. That was super rad. The Vigo the Carpathian is just always cool.
The life-size Vigo the Carpathian.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Got some comments going on. Johnny Dalton over says, the octopus was the scariest part. The deleted scene, the famous deleted scene from the Goonies, where they're like, octopus, and then...
Yeah, because at the very end, when the kids get out of the cave, it's like, oh, baby, are you okay? Like, yeah. And the octopus was the scariest part.
Everybody's like, well, octopus, what? The octopus scene is actually deserves to be on the cutting room floor. It was so bad. If you've never seen this scene from the Goonies, it's this big kind of animatronic octopus, and they defeat it by putting a tape deck with Cyndi Lauper in its mouth, and it like, good enough, and like the octopus dances away. Like, I'm not making this up, it's real. The octopus literally dances away.
But that was part 2 of the music video, because at the end of Goonies Are Good Enough, it says continued in part 2, and there's no part 2.
There is no part 2.
That's the part 2.
And then Tony with the, hey, you guys, from the, classic Sloth.
Johnny came in quick and hard, so that he watched Terminator Dark Fate on Hulu, and he thumbs downed it as hard and fast as he could.
Dark Fate? Which was Dark Fate?
The newest one. The one where they're like,
Aw.
Sarah Connor's back, and screw every movie outside of Terminator 2. We're going to do it right. And then they just remade all those movies they said that they were getting rid of. They're like, so instead of Salvation and 3
And Genesis.
and Genesis, what if we just put those together, but with Sarah Connor? And it was crap. It was...
Hey, man, welcome to Hollywood.
Because then the whole movie was like those movies plus Screw Ice, like not so on the nose message. Is like, hey, guess what, guys?
Also, this. Gotta stay relevant. And speaking of staying relevant, did you guys see the news? Disney had a new press release. I know everybody loves when we talk about Disney. They had a new press release the other day on Monday. Actually, this is today. What am I talking about? This is fresh. This is hot off the presses. Hot off the presses. The roadmap for Disney, they announced, and I quote, under the new structure, the company's 3 content groups will be responsible and accounted for producing and delivering content for theatrical, linear, and streaming, with the primary focus being on the company's streaming services. And what that tells me is Disney is reading the writing on the wall of what's happening in our theaters and what's happening all over the country. And they're thinking, man, streaming's where it's going to be. We're going to squeeze them where it streams.
Which they they released Mulan outside of Disney Plus pretty quick. They're like,
they did.
Oh crap, this failed. No good. Put it up for regular buy for like $10-15. Maybe someone will want it, and nobody wants it. Because you were supposed to have to wait till what, December or next year to be able to get it outside of Disney Plus, and it's been available for like a week, 2 weeks.
Well, and they announced that Soul is going to get released on Disney Plus.
So they backtracked on that.
So they backtracked on that. So yeah, they're gonna do skipping the theatrical release completely on Soul, which is kind of a bummer because I wanted to see that, and I'll go see it at a theater. I'll go see it at a theater. I'll get a bucket of popcorn. I'll support my local theater, but I am not paying $40 to stream that crap from Disney. I'm not going to do. I refuse, guys. And I know this is the first time I've ever kind of in my life as a somewhat professional film reviewer and film enthusiast and student of film ever just absolutely refused to pay to see a film. Like, I'll go watch the Marvel movies. I'll go watch the Avengers in the theaters. I'll go do all that stuff. I'll go see the Star Wars that I know I'm going to hate.
I sat through
he's been dragged to it. Mm-hmm. But I absolutely refuse to pay $30 to $40 to see this stuff. Shout outs to Travis over on Facebook saying, hey, Bo. Hey, what's going on, Travis?
Listen.
What's up, dude?
Johnny asked if we're caught up with the boys. And since you just brought up the DC and the Marvel and the Star Wars and all this stuff, I am, yes. And I asked him before the show if he was, and he's not. And it takes it away because there's a part of the boys that I want to talk about right now for you guys, and I can warn you about spoilers, and you can turn down the volume or whatever, and he can't. And they do something very right that the Disney always does very wrong.
Well, I'm gonna watch it tonight. I had a busy weekend. I mean, do I need to be like la 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 la?
Yeah. Do that real quick.
Okay, hang on. Here we go.
All right. Produce everybody in the room and everyone out there. Spoilers coming in 3, 2, 1. Hey, the part where they have the girl team up is amazing, and they do it great, and it makes you go, girls do get it done, and it's the best.
Am I done?
Yeah, you're
Can
cool.
we do it?
All
okay.
Right. I made it quick and short and fast.
I heard a clap. Furious.
Yeah, always, dude. I'm talking about 3 black Civics skidding under semi-trucks and harpooning their windshields out, stealing DVD players,
Dude,
man.
Did that happen on The Boys?
No, but that would have made it so much better
okay.
to just have Billy Butcher come in and steal the DVD players.
Oi,
in a
we're
Civic.
getting in my Civic.
Oi, you lot, get in the Civic, you cunts. And everyone's like, yeah, Billy Butcher in the Civic.
in the Civic.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, get your own Civic, Kenny.
Kenny. This is my Civic, Kenny. Travis coming in from Facebook saying Nightmare Before Christmas is opening on this Friday at AMC Fiesta Square, which is pretty cool. They did the Hocus Pocus thing. Hocus Pocus got, $2 million in the box office?
Yeah, they've been showing Hocus Pocus locally for us. They have Hocus Pocus as a $5 movie. Mm-hmm. Hey, parents. They have Empire Strikes Back as a $5 movie, and I would have went to see it, except I know that it is a very updated Disney special edition bullshit trash version, though Empire is the least augmented of the 3.
It's true.
Because
there's just some Cloud City stuff.
There's something about Irvin Kershner where you're just like, I'm not going to touch that. Yeah, but that's true. Yeah, Cloud City, and the Lando stuff. And AMC showed Shrek.
And you went and saw
I did go
Shrek.
see it. I went and watched Shrek in the movie theater.
You lived the meme.
Again. Yeah, but that was the thing. I watched Shrek in the movie theater. I owned the VHS. And going back now that Shrek is nothing but memes and watching the first one in the theater again.
So does this mean you're officially an all-star?
No.
Hey, now.
But you know what else? Hey, you know what else was in the movie theater? Which was not a $5 movie, but was a great classic presented by Fathom Events.
And I didn't get to go see it?
You didn't get to go see it? Did you check the new times? It was supposed to show today or Wednesday. Look and see
Up here, dude.
Look and see if there's another one. Oh, hey, hold on before getting that.
Total Recall.
Akira is also showing in movie theaters right now.
But it's...
Our local one is dubbed English only, which is a bummer. I know. Yeah, it's gross. I mean, how are you supposed to have pills and clowns and future Bosuzoku boys and all that?
Yeah, boo.
Yeah, boo.
Boo
Yeah.
to dubbed.
But you know what was in theater and was super rad for its remastered 4K 30th anniversary, presented in all of its best glory it could ever possibly be?
Total Recall.
Yeah,
That's right, dude.
It was sick.
I'm so amped, and I want to go see this. And you were telling me about 4K. So, well, I mean, to me, like when I walk over to someone's house, like, well, why am I walking? When I go to someone else's house, which is pretty rare these days, and their TV settings are all stupid, and they put in like, let's watch this movie in incorrect settings, and I'm like, oh god, it looks off, and they're like, what? It's HD, dude, and I'm like, no, it looks like crap, and they go,
Like when
it's
they're-
old movie. Old movies look like crap, and I go, no, look, watch this. Click, 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 and they go, oh, this looks so amazing because
People that have their frame rate set to sports all the time, and their movies are just moving, and you're like, there's something very not human about this, and it's making me
and it looks
sick.
like someone shot it on their cell phone. Like,
Yeah. You gotta adjust your stuff. We've talked to you before about home theaters, having a nice TV, having a sound bar, a system. You have to adjust it. It's not just fresh out the box. It's good to use. You can't do that. You have to set it. Don't use those like preset nonsense things. You gotta not do that.
It's like 23.976 frames is all you need. You don't need more than that.
Unless you're watching sports or playing video games.
Then you need 29. You need 29.98. That's as many as you need. You don't
can
need
tell a
60. You don't need 60 unless it's David Attenborough telling you about a pufferfish. You know, I don't need 60 to watch him. Because here's the thing: you get your ESPN so you can watch your sports balls, and then without fail, your TV settings or your Cox cable or whatever crap is going on, your picture settings are so stupid looking, and then it gets all chunky, blocky, pixely when the good action moment is anyway. So who cares? 60 frames is stupid, except for slow mo
Or sports or video games.
or whatever, dude.
Fast motion. Yeah.
29.98 is fast enough.
Well, when I get my Series X and I start playing in 60 to 120 frames, and you're stuck back there in the ancient times.
It's funny, all the console bros are getting all excited. It's 60 FPS,
Yeah, bro.
120 hertz refresh rate. Man,
It's gonna be sick.
how many years has it been?
Dude, you know what that sounds like to me? It
PCs
sounds like
are so expensive.
No, it sounds like all the bullshit that happened in the 90s where it's like blast processing, so many quads, blast. It's like, what the,
Gigablast is a Cox internet thing.
16-bit. And it's like, okay, how many bits? We got 17 bits, 32 bits.
Well, it's just a jab to console
Hey,
players
32 bits is
because
like-
PC gamers have experienced high refresh rates for years. But it's
Yeah,
good.
but my
it's good that
console costs
Xbox-
$500 once, and
good
your
that the-
PC costs like money all the time. So
X series is pretty much a computer anyways now, so it's good to bridge.
So McLean
dude, that
saying,
ray tracing is gonna be sick. Hey, that's one thing that I got. That's one thing I'm gonna have over PCs because it has ray tracing tech that
What is
PCs
ray
won't even
tracing?
have yet. It's light rays, bro, making stuff real. It's gonna be sick. But that's not what we're here for.
wait, what?
We're here
Maybe
about
like
movies.
What do you mean?
Maybe
real?
Maybe like a few months, and then it'll be released.
Microsoft said they're not going to integrate it into any PCs until at least 6 months.
Just wait. Yeah.
So the point of it is, oh, movies are going to look sick on my Series X. Hey,
yeah,
never
it's
mind,
going to be
never
like your
mind this.
6G cell phone. Remember when all the G's, it was like, how many G's?
We're only at
2G,
5G.
3G, 4G, 5G. And
Yeah, and 5G causes diseases.
yeah,
Everyone
suffer
knows
like G did.
that. Hey, but on the real, hey, back to Total Recall. Total Recall was sick in 4K, man.
Give these people air, Cohagen.
Come on, Cohagen.
Come on,
Yeah, what you want?
Cohagen.
Give these people air.
Give them air.
Now, hey, as good as the movie looked, and all the stunt doubles you can clearly see now, and all of the foam-made props and backgrounds.
See, I don't want to see that.
I did. It was amazing because it's so good because you can see the movie and it hasn't been adjusted or CGI'd or corrected.
It's been clarified, and that's
Yeah.
not right.
No,
Like,
but it
so-
looks so good when it wants to look good. It looks so good, and it was
But
amazing.
But what I'm afraid
Listen,
of is when a new audience that you're like,
You
hey,
can see Sharon Stone kick every part of Arnold's nutsack.
You could
like
see that
8 times,
You could see that in a non-4K.
but in 4K.
Yeah, but what's going to happen is people like us that don't already appreciate the original version of this film are going to go see this for the first time because they've heard nerds like us being like, Total Recall rules, dude. Give the people Clegg and Quado.
I couldn't find my Quado shirt. My apartment looks like one of the many hurricanes that have been just
'Cause you were looking for the
ruining
Quado
the world.
shirt?
Yeah, because I was like literally like a movie or cartoon where it's like, like looking for my Quado shirt.
Can't believe you had the nerve to show your face here. Look who's talking.
Yeah, so I could ask all of you to open your mind.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Well,
It's the best. Hey,
Well, I'm just
don't
saying,
hate on
if a
it,
new person with fresh virgin Total Recall eyes goes to see it, and they're hearing us get amped about it, and they go, well, dude, I want to go see this movie that they're talking about, that they talk about all the freaking time, and they got a muscle poster with Arnold, and they go see it, and they go, I could see the cardboard walls, I could see that was a stunt double, this is stupid, old movies are dumb.
If it's the first time you're watching it, you're going to be absorbed in the Paul Verhoeven action, and you're not even going to notice. I noticed because it was the 500th time I've seen it. I own Total Recall in the collector Mars metal case, man. I love Total Recall, and it's going to be available for purchase on UHD and 4K December 8th, and I'm going to have it that day because I'm going to watch it another time because it's amazing. And you know what's going to be the best is all of the little featurettes and stuff, because at the beginning of the movie, they were talking to Paul Verhoeven, and he's like, oh, you know how I got involved in this movie? Arnold watched RoboCop, and he's like, I want that guy. Let's make Total Recall the sickest shit anyone's ever seen.
Paul Verhoeven kind of rule. Like, I mean,
Yeah, because they just rolled up and they asked Paul Verhoeven, they're like, hey, Arnie wants you to be the director on this movie where he's just going to kick all of the ass. He's like, Schwarzenegger, and I get to make all of the heads explode and stuff.
I'm in.
I'm in. And he
So
said they
I
were
don't-
best friends instantly.
I was thinking about this earlier when we were talking, when you said that you were going to go see it, and then I couldn't, and I got really sad. I was thinking about Paul Verhoeven. I was thinking about how movies that got made as little as a decade ago could not get made today for various reasons, and PC, cancel culture and all this kind of crap that's going on. Paul Verhoeven's one of those dudes that I don't think could ever make like a Paul Verhoeven movie again, where it's just
yeah,
like
especially not after
heads getting exploded, 3 titties flying out, dicks getting shot off, and like all of this stuff, like shower scenes and brain bugs and Paul Verhoeven existed in a time of freedom that I don't think that we have anymore, and where we're just like, look, we're gonna put some weird shit on this, and y'all are gonna think it's rad. And
they're like, and then the rapist gets his dick blown off, and you see its mangled remains in his hands, and then RoboCop shoots the other dude too, and the producer's like, fuck that guy, this rules.
roll cameras.
Yeah. And then now they're like, ooh.
And you're like,
Ooh,
maybe
I don't think you can have dicks explode.
And we can't say that it's a member. We're just gonna call it a member.
That's true. Showgirls is what I was trying to think a minute ago. Yeah, Showgirls did not succeed, and unfortunately that made it. I think that's what made it where you can't get Paul Verhoeven movies anymore.
Oh, Showgirls. And I mean, if you go back and revisit Showgirls, you're like, it's funny how movies like,
why do people hate this as much as they did?
yeah,
kind
it's
of
like
thing?
oh man, yeah, I don't know. It's weird. It's the evolution of
Paul Verhoeven made sick movies, man.
Dude, I know. Paul Verhoeven is a very underrated director. He's one of these guys that was like a blockbuster at the time, but now is becoming cult, which is kind of an interesting paradox for a director to be, because a lot of people start out as cult and then become blockbuster, but Paul Verhoeven not so much. It's kind of like this weird reverse.
I mean, you know what? We got asked earlier if we're caught up on The Boys. Every episode of The Boys is basically a Paul Verhoeven movie. Heads explode.
You're not wrong.
Hands get ripped off, and they're just mangled.
And everybody's like,
shooting
"Oh my
blood.
God, this is so edgy!" And it's like, "No, dude, Paul Verhoeven was doing this
It's like
way."
I've seen RoboCop
yeah.
before.
Yeah, seen it all. Seen an Arnold pulling the thing out his nose, being like, "Glow, glow,
yeah.
tracker."
Hey, be careful. Remember, that's my face
nose.
too.
Yeah, my face too. Like in the head, it's like beep 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 beep, and blows up, and man, come on. And
Oh yeah.
Starship Troopers, everybody gets murked. Like
I figured out
with juicy gusto.
I figured out who the actor that played Gul Dukat is when I watched it, because remember we were like, Gul Dukat's not in Total Recall. He's like the beret wearing captain dude that greets Richter at the spaceport. He's only in it for like a couple of times to tell Richter what's up. And also, he gets to live. So there's
And
that.
like I was saying, he was in Tango and Cash. I saw him the other day when I was rewatching that. But yeah, Paul Verhoeven. Like someone mentioned Hollow Man. Travis mentioned Hollow Man.
Did he do that movie?
He did. That was one of his more recent films.
Well, look at that. With movie magic, he turned Kevin Bacon into a creepy rapist too.
And he just like ever since Starship Troopers, it kind of went downhill. Like he hasn't really done anything like very like.
Was
Paul,
Showgirls before or after Starship Troopers?
It was just before. Yeah, it was like 95, and then Starship Troopers was like 97, and then Hollow Man was 2000 2000. And,
yeah, too creepy, too rapisty for me, man. Mm-hmm. I mean, if there's
and also Flesh and Blood. I think I have the VHS of Flesh and Blood back here somewhere. Yeah, hang on, check it out. There it is, right there. A little VHS Paul Verhoeven for you. Got the whole VHS with the stickers and everything. This film is rated R.
What the hell is that thing?
Do you want to borrow it?
No, what is it?
Oh, it says.
No, what was the thing that you took out of that box?
It's a VHS. You ever seen one of these? Yeah. You ever seen this? Check it out, dude. You can touch it. You can smell it. It says. A sweeping epic of romance and passion for wealth and power command the screen in an award-winning filmmaker Paul Verhoeven's cinematic tour de force, Flesh and Blood, starring Rutger Hauer, Jennifer Jason Leigh, and Australian actor Tom Burlesman.
How does this work?
What, a VHS?
Yeah.
You put it in a VHS player, and that magnetic tape that's inside has images and sound recorded onto it.
Did you guys know about this?
Yeah, I know. It's crazy technology. It's coming back.
I have a VHS player at home.
Flesh and Blood is the past as no history book would tell it. Travel back to the medieval era in a spectacular epic adventure and romance.
This is the new show now. We just like do epic readings of the back of VHS boxes.
From Vestron Home Video.
You know what? That's the thing that you don't have anymore. You know how we've talked about like the video rental stores, how we used to work there and all those things? You used to get like a tale of like what you're gonna be in store for on the back of it, like the back of a book.
Dude, yeah.
You ever see the back of a Blu-ray now? They're like, all these guys drive cars, they shoot the guy that,
and they're famous
that looked at his daughter weird, and then they say, okay, thanks. And
because that's pretty much the thickness of the plots of these movies.
Yeah, it's like 2.5 sentences long.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool.
I didn't even look at this. This is a novel in the back of this.
Johnny asked how magnets work.
Over 10 years in the making. Flesh and Blood
miracles
centers
are how
around the adventures of
work.
3 main protagonists. Martin, a mercenary soldier in the army of Arlo.
Just keep going, yeah.
Well, dude.
It's like that time where you read like 12 pages of Game of Thrones.
Oh, yeah. When Martin leads an upheaval against the cruel Aeronafi, he and his raging bunch of soldiers capture Agnes and take over an isolated castle.
This accent?
I don't know. You said, it's fantasy accent. You know, it's fantasy. It's not quite England. It's not quite, whatever. It's fantasy. And
that's true.
A ragtag bunch of soldiers capture Agnes and take her over an isolated castle to use as their fortress. Like, I don't know, fantasy. It's like Ren Fair talk with nerds that play Magic the Gathering and
like the accents they gave everyone in Lord of the Rings. Like, they weren't English and they weren't New Zealand and they weren't Australia.
It's fantasy.
They were Lord of the Rings.
Well, it's kind of
or whatever Samwise Gamgee was supposed to sound like.
Well, you ever see that David Cross skit about the Southern accent, where it's like no matter where you go, there's like, "Hey man, I'm from upstate New York, and we talk like this." "Hey man, I'm from Southern California, and we talk like this." "Hey man, I'm from Dallas, Texas, and we talk like this." I feel like that's fantasy.
You mean
it's like
Jeff Foxworthy's comedy about how there's rednecks everywhere?
Well, that was also David Cross sketch, and
Foxworthy probably did.
He probably did it first. But that's the fantasy thing. It's like, I'm from Middle Earth and I talk like this. I'm from Esteros.
You sound just like Legolas, bro.
Yeah, see, I'm from Esteros and I talk like this. And it's fantasy voice, dude. Vince asks on Twitch. He goes, "Remember how into Game of Thrones you guys were?" Yeah.
Remember how into Game of Thrones everybody was, bro?
And remember how good it kind of still is. Like, I don't care what you say about the last season.
Watch some of the early seasons, bro. Game of Thrones is sick.
It's going to be like Lost. You're going to go back and revisit it years later after everyone's like, "Oh no, the last season sucked my balls off. It was garbage trash." And you watch it and go, there has not been a greater accomplishment in television.
Johnny just came in with "Show yourself, Gandalf."
Show yourself.
And I want to just have a video edited of the Balrog coming onto the bridge with the whip, and he goes, "Show yourselves."
If you guys have not seen Hurricane Heist, do yourself a favor.
Yes, do that. Lots of up and comers in that movie.
Oh man. My pumpkin just
Vince
has vodka
gave up
in it.
on season 2 of Game of Thrones. I feel like that's where it was like starting to take off.
Vince is probably like, I'm trying to think of.
To be fair, we went off about Goonies earlier, and Vince has unabashedly admitted that he hates Goonies.
Vince, why do you even watch the show? We're all like, Goonies rules, give me those rules, and you're just like, these guys are stupid. And
No, but I like
and
it.
yet,
He's-
and yet
but he's the
he
coolest.
mails us gifts.
Yeah, he's the best.
Like this
Yeah.
guy, what a cool dude. We appreciate it.
Yeah. Our favorite hater.
Yeah. Anyway, what were we even? We were talking about Paul Hare. There was news that I think we were talking about. We were talking
Yeah,
about
we were
Disney.
talking about how sick Total
we were
Recall
talking about. We were talking about space. SpaceX. HBO is developing a scripted series about Elon Musk's SpaceX. But more importantly, Tom Cruise is going to space.
Yes, he's
And,
going to be on the ISS, and he got permission because he's going to film a movie because Tom Cruise.
Because Tom Cruise, man. Everybody was like, Tom Cruise is so stupid. Scientology. It's like, yeah, Scientology is stupid, but Tom Cruise, still a pretty cool dude.
Hey, since we're talking about big companies like Disney and now AT&T with HBO, did you see in the news that the U.S. government is like, fuck tech companies? Have you seen this?
No.
Oh yeah, they have like a 449-page document, antitrust committee going against Google, Apple, Facebook, Amazon.
Whack.
Yeah, and they're like, screw you guys. You control the industry, and you're trying to control everything within the industry, and nobody competes with you except for you. And dude, they're just like, oh, Amazon controls everything because they've established a method to do it, and sellers can't leave because consumers know that that's where they're going to be, and if you don't have a choice in the matter. And they're doing this for everybody. They're like, oh, Facebook buys its competitors and then competes with itself, and they're just like trying to shut them all down.
Shut these off. Shut these all off.
Split them up. They're trying to make them split
Yes, sir.
themselves.
This man has no dick.
History kind of repeats itself, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Back
well-
in the 90s of the antitrust, kangaroo
it
court,
does.
basically, with Microsoft. Anyway.
Yeah. I mean, it could become a big deal. So that's something to look out for.
It's
keep
big.
an eye on.
That's a local joke.
It is. If big.
If big. Oh, man. Well, speaking of people that have too much power in the streaming world, Netflix, did you read about this? Because I do love animated films. Netflix plans to release 6 animated movies every year for the next handful of years.
Have they not been doing that?
No, exclusives that they're not just like buying from other places. They're wanting to produce some
Not
of
the
these.
things that already exist, and then
Yeah.
they put it on Netflix and then
Like-
label it Netflix original.
Yeah, like Hubie Halloween. Hubie. Dina asks if anyone has seen Hubie Halloween. I'm gonna watch that this week, actually.
I'm just gonna watch Ernest Scared Stupid like 12 times.
Because it's the better Hubie Halloween. I wish I could do like some sort of fun, safe group screening of one of these movies. Like, how do we do this? Like, you can't do a watch party. Because you're like, it's all chat. Like, fuck that.
You can take over a theater. It's actually
But we
fairly
can't. We
affordable.
can't be like, oh well, can you play Ernest Scared Stupid? They'll be like, what's that
Oh,
movie?
to show like a movie that we want to see.
Yeah, because we could totally do a screening of whatever's playing at the Malco. But I mean,
Well, we
I want to do a Schlock Cinema Night again. You know how long it's been? It's
been a couple of years.
It's been 2 years since I
but
did a Schlock Cinema Night.
We can do like we did. We have a friend. We can hit him up, and we can have like a very small, like our little makeshift.
Yeah,
drive-in.
but I don't know if we have enough social distancing space because there's strangers that would like to come. We gotta be 6 feet apart.
Put a mask on, bro.
It's gonna be 6 feet apart. If I could find a person that had dual 5K projectors, we could do this. I could find a place because I've got the FM transmitting technology. We could do a pop-up drive-in like I've always wanted to do. And Logan says, let's buy the drive-in.
You can't do that anymore because now they get corporate
Well,
sponsorship.
Walmart's
and
already bought
buy
it
us.
up. So.
No, Walmart didn't buy it up. They
Yeah,
have
for the rest of the season, Walmart's
Oh,
got the
okay.
whole rest of ours.
Yeah, for the rest of the season, they have it rented. They didn't.
Yeah, they didn't buy it.
Oh no, yeah.
You know,
no.
I've wanted to buy our local drive-in for years. I wanted to take over and run it, and now of course it becomes a gold mine without them having to try. But I was gonna I had all these plans. I want to redo everything, make it cool, but also vintage. But no one listens to me, unless they're just coming to be entertained. But anyway, what do we got going on here? Other news.
Hey, since you were talking about social distancing, did you see that with the first episode back of the season in studio, SNL had to pay their audience to be there because it was a loophole for New York's COVID laws.
What?
All of the audience members were considered employees, but when interviewed, the people did not know they would be being paid until they started to leave, and they were handed an $80 check. Yeah, they gave them a check for $80 for participating as an employee for the day. How about that?
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
That's
and
pretty
they
cool.
were screened for COVID beforehand. They had to answer questionnaires and sign waivers saying that they had not had any kind of symptom within the last 5 days and had not interacted with however many people and all this. So SNL, to get a live audience, paid people $80. So if you can make it past their screening process, you can make a cool $80 to go watch SNL.
I don't know. It probably you have to pay me more because I haven't enjoyed SNL in a long time.
Well, that's part of it.
Since what was the hemorrhaging head wound Harry or whatever it was, or massive head wound Harry. I don't know.
Sandberg left and it wasn't as funny anymore.
No, that was like not David Spade.
Yeah,
that
way
was
back.
That was like what was
well, Chris Rock was
Dana
the host.
Carvey.
Oh yeah.
That was Dana Carvey.
You know what too? Since you were talking about Netflix, did you see that Texas is suing Netflix for that Cuties movie?
Oh my God.
They're suing it because it has depictions of children in their
Can we just
underwear.
fucking sue Texas and all of the southern states and the pageant culture because that shit's insane? And
Netflix
also
came back and they're like, hey,
toddlers and tiaras. This is not a new thing, you guys.
Netflix stayed strong in their position of it's art to show why that's wrong, and the whole point of the movie is that this is not okay. But some Texas lawmaker watched it, and then after watching it was like, we can't have this.
If we're gonna just go down that rabbit hole of suing, that the over sexualization of children has been something that has been a big problem just in media in general. It's let's not blame Netflix for giving you what you clearly want. How about you stop wanting that shit because it's weird. And this is something. This is going to be a rabbit hole conversation that I'm going to need more drink for. But that really.
What did I do?
That really just pisses me off about.
I like how you just did the Giada, and just an ounce of vodka, and you turn it upside down. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah,
the Food Network Giada, where
she's
and just a splash of
just
vodka,
a little splash.
and it's like half the.
But here's the
bottle.
thing: everybody looks at Hollywood, everybody looks at Netflix, everybody looks at these film studios, and they go, "I can't believe they're making these things. Oh my gosh, they're the problem. This is the problem."
I can't believe it's not butter.
But here's the problem. You guys got to stop thinking about these film production places as these harbingers of culture and influence. What they are doing is they are reflecting the desires and the cravings of the society. These people would not make spicy chicken sandwiches if people weren't craving and demanding spicy chicken fucking sandwiches.
Hold up. Vince pointed out something that we need to clarify real quick. He says it's not the movie, it was the creepy advertising. No, that was a separate event. So Netflix has already apologized, came out, they said they were wrong and they were sorry about the way they advertised
people want the movie banned.
To the U.S. audience. That was a movie poster.
That's a whole other...
They put on their streaming service for the U.S. audience, which was different in its native France, where it was made and everything, and in other international markets. But in the U.S., it was advertised kind of messed up. They fixed that. They corrected that. This is a whole new thing where Texas wants to sue Netflix over the movie existing for... Let me read you exactly how they had it phrased.
Look at this guy, notes.
No serious literary, political, political or scientific value, and knowingly promoting visual material that depicts the lewd exhibition of the genitals or pubic area of a clothed or partially clothed child. This is completely different from their advertising, which Netflix has apologized and changed. This Netflix refuses to go back on because they said obviously he didn't understand the point of the movie because he was too busy getting a little chubby watching children because he's wrong because he's Texan. Fuck Texans. And hey, I'm from Arkansas. I don't know what to tell you on this. But if you're a fan of ours, hey, you're cool. You're the exception. I appreciate you.
Well, my point is, like, these places, you know, we wouldn't have separate advertising if it wasn't for demographic data and studies and research and panels and votes and
Vince, it's checks notes. Messed up, y'all.
but you know, these are products of lots of very smart people trying to make products that you want. Like, these people aren't going, you know, I really wish the world had more pedophilia content out there. Nobody's making these fucking decisions. What they're doing is going, oh my gosh, we have researched all this data. We've got this money that we need to spend in an industry that's struggling. How are we going to make the most return on our investment? Well, all signs point to people want to see this. People want to taste this. People want to watch this. People want to hear this. We'll make the things that people want. And they're going to keep making the people. I've said this on the show for years. We vote with our money. We've always voted with our money. And if it's going to make money, we're going to get more of it. And, you know, it's like Domino's isn't going to keep making doo-doo crust pizza if no one buys doo-doo crust pizza. But if everyone...
Hold on, yes they would, because everyone would order doo-doo crust to send to someone else's house.
Yes!
They're like, and so send that fucker a doo-doo crust pizza. And then they would show up and there would be like the delivery goes like, special delivery, doo-doo crust. And they'd be like, oh! It'd be like getting iced and they'd be like, I've been doo-dooed.
But yes, but therefore there is a demand for doo-doo crust pizza, and so it would exist, and we would keep making doo-doo crust pizza.
Yo, hold on before we get too far away from pizza. Did you see in the news today that this motherfucker was arrested for putting razor blades in people's pizzas?
What?
That's a real thing.
No, this is an urban legend, because that hasn't happened.
It's real. It's in the news. It happened today. Check it. It was like in Minnesota or somewhere. This dude at a grocery store selling these pizzas shoved razor blades into like at least a dozen pizzas, and they caught him, and they're like, oh, there's like an undisclosed amount of razor blades in my pizza, and they went back and checked.
Undisclosed amount.
Yeah, they went back and
There
checked
could be two,
the
could be
security
16.
cameras, and he was just shoving razor blades into pizza dough. Like
Where do you just go buy razor blades?
He worked at a grocery store. They were there already.
Well,
he just
I mean,
picked them off the
like,
shelf.
Are they
man.
like chic refills for your like Gillette 5000?
You
like,
can get full blown razor blades at Wally World, dog.
for real? Like,
Yeah, for shaving and for box cutting, you can get them.
Oh, this guy?
Yeah, right there. Look at that.
Crazy like nose guy?
Well,
mean,
yeah.
look at
Hey,
his
don't
nose.
talk about him like that. He'll feed you razor blades. Yeah, but look at that. That's a real thing.
Arrested for stuffing a razor
Hannah
blade.
Ford's in Maine.
That is a stuffed crust pizza you
Yeah,
definitely don't want.
Portland, Maine. There you go.
So
Hey,
yeah, doo-doo razor. That's going to be the name of this episode.
So-
doo-doo crust razor pizza.
So stepping away from your insanity here, but talking about exactly what you're talking about, spending money, people adjusting their streaming services, animated movies, all come together into one thing, CBS. They're cutting back all of their everything. They're spending by like 20 or 30%, laying off tons of people. They're trying to sell Crunchyroll. They don't give a shit about
They're selling Crunchyroll?
they're trying to. They've been trying to.
I've had a subscription to that for
Mm-hmm.
a long time. If you want my login, you can have it.
No.
But I know you don't watch anime.
I don't.
But if you want my login.
But hey, next weekend, this upcoming weekend, it's supposed to be a Fathom event. That CGI Lupin the First is supposed to be in theaters. So check your listings
About
for
that.
that.
Speaking
But
of CBS, though, did you hear that Commander Janeway may be making a reappearance
Commander?
Captain Janeway. Or I guess she's Admiral at this point. She's Admiral
yeah,
if
ain't
you
you
get
never
caught
seen First Contact?
up.
Player?
But anyway, Admiral Janeway, I don't think she's...
No, she wasn't Admiral in First Contact. She was
She's
Admiral in Nemesis.
in Nemesis, yeah.
Yeah.
She may reprising her role in the one of the animated series that they're doing.
Yeah,
And,
Kate Mulgrew's coming back as Janeway officially.
And now, since Janeway's come back, Picard has come back. CBS is testing the waters see the return of our dog Cisco trying to come back into the Star Trek universe, maybe in season 2 of Picard, which would be live action. Because they have a history.
Seen how old he is?
Doesn't matter. He's still Cisco.
He has a hard time walking and talking.
Yeah, but
it's painful, and you can't come back from the prophets and be ancient.
But if they animated him and he was just there, like Commander Cisco, the character, come on, man.
No.
I want to see.
Bring back Worf. Michael
No,
Dorn.
he won't do it.
What? Michael Dorn was the one that
No.
was pushing for Star Trek for the longest.
He said,
and they refused to make his Worf series. And
That's the thing.
He goes, goddamn Worf series.
He goes, I don't want to do it unless it's the me show.
Yeah, tell these fucking Pataks to give me my Worf series, damn it.
They could just choke on the gak.
Yeah. They don't even know how to eat gak. Motherfuckers. There's like several Star Trek groups I'm involved in, and I don't know how I feel about myself.
Did you order that blood wine?
Nah. I need to. But someone was like, "Oh, the Klingons in Discovery and the Kelvin universe are okay with me because I'm a dumb idiot." And I would just like came in and I was like, "No, like explain to me why they're different and the retconning from the original series is okay." It's like, well, one dumbass Gene Roddenberry in the motion picture was like, "This is how Klingons are supposed to be," and made them the way that Klingons are fucking supposed to be. And I went off on like a whole deal and called them all sorts of Klingon curses. It was sick. I feel very strongly about this. I wish I had my Klingon disruptor instead of just my original series phaser. Shout out to my boy John Munkus hooking me up with this.
It also has the
Christmas
communicator on it, doesn't it?
That's not a communicator. That's
Can you pull it away?
a different version of the phaser. They're both phasers because this is the compact one. Yeah, and then this was your like full blown.
Yeah, you got to check out the video for this. If you're not tuned into the live stream, you can't see all these cool things that we have around the set. Pew, 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 pew.
I wish I had it charged up so you could full blown laser it.
Yeah. Set your phasers to like and subscribe.
Hey. There you go.
Yeah, you just got to get it on there and hit us up on the Facebook, the Twitch, or the YouTubes. Just search for the Drive-In Speakerbox.
People right now online are actually pushing, since we're talking about Star Trek now, people online are you did this. People online are pushing to have Q come back. Old John Delancey to come back in Picard to torment Picard some more. And
that would make sense.
Yeah, and if you need to explain why John Delancey got older too, I already got it. He's like, well, I aged with you, Picard. I'm just here to fit in better.
I think it'd be fun.
Yeah,
dude.
Because Q can do whatever they want to do.
Q's insane.
Yeah, or he's like, oh, raising that kid that Janeway stuck me with.
It stressed me out.
Has aged me. Mm-hmm. Yeah, how about that? There we go. I fixed it.
What was like the first? It was like
Star
the first.
Trek. I fixed it.
What was like the first episode of
Cancel Discovery, get rid of Lower Decks, never talk about Kelvin Universe, and then do those things I just said.
Yeah, I mean, wasn't Q's very first episode where he came in like an old conquistador ship captain because he's like, isn't this how you're a ship captain? And I'm trying. Yes, that was a real thing, wasn't it?
Q's first episode was the first episode of The Next Generation.
Right, and he came in as a Spanish ship captain.
He came in as a judge from the 22nd century after World War III.
Ship captain because I watched it yesterday.
Oh! No, you're very wrong about this because they talk about the court.
Because it was so boring, I fast-forwarded
because
it
he had
the next episode.
He had the big robe and the dumb thing, and he was the judge overseeing the court. You think you're more correct about something Star Trek than me, bro?
Yeah, dude. Because I literally just watched it. Because I'm like, oh my God.
Did you set this phaser to dumbass when you pointed at yourself?
No, I'm setting it to, I just literally watched it the other day.
Did you only watch the first half of Farpoint? Did you not watch the second?
I watched I watched the pilot and I was like, oh God. And then I skipped to season 3.
You know what I'm going to bring for us to put in our background and just keep for reference purposes?
What's that?
I'm going to bring my Star Trek The Next Generation episode and movie guide that gives you all of the production notes, the star date, the guest stars, who directed, the whole plot synopsis of every frigging episode and movie. And you will never be right.
Yeah, well, and we'll never get comments again. Did you see how fast the comments dried up as we started talking about Star Trek?
Listen, Star Trek's one of the greatest things in entertainment, in movies and films and TV shows to ever happen. So, I mean, I don't know what that's about.
Yeah, sorry. Anyway. Okay, well, moving on from Star Trek. It is October. We do have a little bit of time left. It's spooky season. What are you guys watching? You watching anything cool? You revisiting oldies? You checking out new ones? Netflix has got some new stuff out there. Blumhouse is producing some stuff. Shudder has got some really cool stuff. I know Dina's over in the comments. She's subscribed to Shudder. Got the Ghoul Log. A lot of cool stuff going on. I really wish that the Creep Show new season would come out. But Joe Bob's got some really cool stuff coming out.
Oh.
The Halloween specials
Classy
in the work.
guy.
Yeah, a lot of cool, lots of spooky content to be checking out this year. Tyler says he's checking out Bly Manor. Yeah, Bly Manor's blowing up. A lot of people have been talking about that one.
Everyone's been finishing up The Boys,
Except for me. Truck Dad says Halloween series is up next. A great series to watch. I recommended watching it. So if you want to watch the Halloween movies, here's how you do it. You start with Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. Get it out of the way. Just watch it. Watch it first because
it has nothing to do with the rest of them.
Well, and it's also not a bad movie. It's actually a pretty good horror film.
It's like one of those, if they didn't call it that, it would be good kind of a thing.
Right. It's a perfectly good horror movie. It's got a lot of cool stuff going on. Watch Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. Watch it first, and then you're like, okay, happy Halloween, Silver Shamrock, and you do the thing because John Carpenter's vision for the Halloween series got screwed by producers and panels and box office, whatever. Then you watch 1, 2, H2O, and then the one that came out last year, and then you wait for the next one. Screw all that other shit in the middle. Don't watch the ones that Rob Zombie did. That's the order that you watch the Halloween series in. Trust me. Let's see. Corridors of Blood. That's a pretty good one. I haven't seen Corridors of Blood
in a
while.
Horror movie series you can watch besides Nightmare on Elm Street, which we talked about earlier.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Leprechaun.
Leprechaun is a really, really fun one. Night of the Demons is if you want like a long, like fun, multi movie thing. Night of the Demons is pretty fun. Wishmaster is a really fun one to watch.
You know what's
McClane.
Fun to do with ghosts and spirits and spooky stuff, but is actually fun to watch and not like horror? Ghibli movies. Because they all have a bunch of creepy yokai stuff in it.
A lot of spirits.
You can watch like Spirited Away, which is about the whole yokai onsen, the hot tubs. And
the Crypt doesn't like scary movies.
I don't like scary movies. I straight up do not like scary movies, and I ain't gonna hide that from anybody because I don't want someone trying to get me to watch a scary movie. Don't want to do it. But hey, you tell me Spirited Away ain't creepy AF?
I mean,
where it has that scene from like Willow where her parents get turned into pigs, like in Willow.
10.
All right, guy. Critters, that's a fun one.
Critters is a fun one. McLean says he's doing a double feature of Society and Bordello of Blood. I don't know why you chose to do. I mean, they're both good movies, but if you're doing Bordello of Blood, why not Demon Knight? You're doing the two Tales from the Crypt movie. That
also,
makes sense.
When you buy the movie, they're together.
They're together. And honestly, Demon Knight's better than Bordello of Blood, except for Bordello of Blood does have Corey Feldman in it.
And it has old Dennis, what's his name, from SNL.
Oh, Dennis Leary, not Leary, but Dennis, the Weekend Update.
The Weekend Update guy,
Dennis one. But Society, man, I remember when I punked a lot of people watching Society because nobody had seen Society yet, and I was kind of on that cusp before Society became a cult. But it was Brian Usna, and this movie is so weird. He did Beyond Reanimator. He did some of the Reanimator ones. He did the Faust
talking about
movie.
Star Trek, old Jeffrey Combs Reanimator.
Jeffrey Combs, always great.
Watch anything with Jeffrey Combs. He's creepy. Dennis Miller. Thanks, Tyler.
Dennis Miller. But yeah, Society is a slow burn. You watch this movie, you're like, what is going on?
And then all of a sudden,
everything
Butthole
just
Man.
balls to Butthole Man.
Speaking of Butthole Man, Truck Dad coming in saying, Jake, I don't watch anime. Listen, bro, Ghibli is completely independent of other anime type things. It's movies. They're presented in movie format. It's just animated movies.
Vince says he was thinking of rewatching Bone Tomahawk, which I highly recommend because it's got my boy Kurt Russell, and it's another one of those like slow burn. You're like, okay, what am I getting myself into? Ah! And then you're just like, what is up? And that Bone Tomahawk, and that's a sleeper. Not a lot of people have checked out Bone Tomahawk.
I haven't yet because I knew that it would get like gory murder, creepy stuff. But I was like, oh, Kurt Russell with a cool mustache and a Western? I mean, maybe. But then I was like, oh, but it's going to have like creepy Comanche, like axe brutal murder.
Oh, all of that stuff. Yeah. Vince says, Jake, you cannot handle that movie, and I second that. There's
I mean,
no
I
way.
can handle horror. I just don't like it, is the thing about it.
Oh, Dina says, tonight I'm watching the WNUF Halloween special. Absolutely. I think it's a Shudder exclusive, if I'm not mistaken, and it is fun. It is super fun. If you guys have Shudder, check it out. I watched it last week. Very good. Yeah, Dina, shoot me a DM later after you check it out and tell me what you think.
How about Elvira? Elvira's a great
Elvira, and there's a lot of Elvira content on Amazon Prime right now.
You can
Lots
watch
of it.
Yeah. What her review or talking over dumb
She's
movies?
she does 13 whatever movies. Let's see. McLean says, just a fun film with some Hammer horror legends. Check out The Raven. Dude, Hammer horror, if you don't know Hammer films that are not the new Hammer is just not fun. But if you like old Vincent Price, if you like Christopher Lee, The Raven, of course, that's based off of an Edgar Allan Poe novel of the same name. But I think it also has Peter Lorre. He's like, Ugarte. Everybody likes Peter Lorre. But yeah, dude, anything Hammer, Roger Corman movies like are classic, fun schlock. Good recommendations from McLean over there.
Fright Night. That's a fun one.
And the remake. Both of them are good. You can do a back-to-back double feature of original Fright Night and the new Fright Night.
I've never watched the remake.
And you could watch, here's a weird rabbit hole because, Fright Night had Evil Ed, but then there's also Evil Ed, the character that came off in another movie called Evil Ed. And if you want to do like a weird thematic double feature like I do, Evil Ed the movie is not so great, but it's a little weird. But it makes a good double feature if you want to watch Fright Night and then Evil Ed.
Just like you can watch that movie that the dude that directed Tokyo Drift did that introduces Han, so you can have like a more background on Han for Fast and Furious. Yeah, bro. Good call.
It's not a Halloween movie, dude.
I don't know. Yakuza's kind of scary, bro. I don't know what you're talking about. Halloween movies. Some Halloween movies aren't Halloween movies, like Gremlins. Gremlins is fun around
It's a
Halloween
Christmas
time,
movie.
but it's Christmas. Both of them.
And I always get mad
Talking about
when
Christopher Lee.
drive-ins show Gremlins like, oh, here's a fun, family-friendly, scary movie. And it's like, it's a Christmas movie. Save it for Christmas. Just like Nightmare Before Christmas. Not a Halloween movie, a Christmas movie. Save it for Christmas.
Yeah, and you know what's a better Halloween town? Friggin' Halloween Town. Watch Halloween Town.
Live on the Green Roof on YouTube says that he likes our mugs. Yeah, cheers. Cheers to...
Thematic.
There you go. Let's see. Vince says, oh, I whispered this to Jake, but I think it would still be fun to do a box office roundup now to see what classic movies are up there. I always have it pulled up. So let's see. There was actually a pretty good amount of movies playing in small theaters. There was 42 movies in that reported box office earnings this week.
Yeah, when I went to buy tickets for Total Recall, I was actually surprised. I was like, oh, there's movies, and I haven't heard of any of them.
Yeah, so let's see. In the top, I'm only going to do the top 15. So 14 had Bill and Ted's Face the Music, which is not an old movie, but it is kind of a weird new movie based on old movies. We've got Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back as number 9. Coco, number 6.
No, don't watch Coco.
And then Hocus Pocus was number 3. Yeah, those were in the top 15 of all like old movies that are in the. I mean, if you want to go through all of them, let me see anything classic back there. No, most of them are just. Because a lot of those classic movies, because they're not getting an official re-release, they don't report box office. Like, if it's just a theater that buys the rights to do a distribution night and sell tickets to it, that doesn't get box office earnings. But if it's something that gets an actual release through theaters, that has to report box office earnings. So if your local theater's like going, hey, we're going to show, Point Break tonight, and then they charge $10 and everybody has a great, amazing time, because that's the best Catherine Bigelow movie that's ever been made. Just Hurt Locker can suck it. That doesn't count. But with a movie like Hocus Pocus that got like a wide national release so everybody can see it, that does. So yeah, it's kind of weird how the box office.
You know what? I just thought of something while we were going over that would be fun to watch horror movies made for other holidays for your Halloween movies.
So like Krampus.
Yeah, like Krampus, Gremlins. That one with the turkey that murders everybody.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah, things like that. Like
yeah. Or Jack Frost, not the one with Michael Keaton, but the one with the snowman that kills that girl in the shower with an icicle penis.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, it's a movie that I've seen.
But yeah, how cool would that be to take like other holiday horror movies and watch them as your Halloween watchings? That would be fun.
So you get to get a little bit of all the other holidays.
Yeah.
What if we just did that?
Like a Leprechaun? Leprechaun's for St. Patrick's Day.
That is an other holiday-themed horror film. Maybe we should just make a list of holiday-themed horror films, and we need content for like. Can you do? You want to do our? You should take over our social media.
Yeah. Do it. Yes.
I'm just gonna low-key slide responsibilities over there.
Yeah. Because we both have plenty of time to do these things.
Hey man, I got even less time. But
we'll find a way to make a list of holiday movies. I don't know about full-blown takeover of social medias, but
it'll be fun. We'll do something. Maybe.
I can't even get people to like my memes. You think I'm gonna?
I'll give you. You already have access to the Driving Speakerbox page, dude. You can do it. You have the technology.
I'm gonna have to be like.
You have a smartwatch. I don't.
Not anymore.
Where'd it go?
It doesn't work half the time. I gotta figure it out.
Well, it's not very smart, is it?
No. I'm gonna have to be like old Stormfront's meme team.
Is this a spoiler?
No.
Okay.
How far in The Boys are you?
I'm
like episode 2.
I just need to see the last one.
Oh well, then you know about Stormfront's meme team.
I mean, I know she makes memes. I don't know if they do something cutting edge in the last one.
I mean, I'm not going to say one way or the other on that, but
you already did.
No, through the whole season, they just talk about how she has a meme team that makes her the more successful of the ones.
Of the 7.
Because she has a bunch of
they're not ones, they're 7s.
She has a bunch of meme dweebs making her stuff.
We need meme. Hey, if you
and
guys,
she says she pays them in Arby's gift cards.
Oh shit! If I will pay you in Arby's coupons. I will mail you Arby's coupons. I get a sheet every week of them.
Anyone wants to send me Arby's, not coupons, gift cards, bro. I don't want to go to Arby's and have to spend my money.
I will send you Arby's coupons and gift cards.
Damn, double up on the Arby's.
Yeah, ultra savings.
Yeah,
you could get so many roast beef and cheddars. Like, why is it always roast beef and cheddars?
Yeah,
I don't like roast beef and cheddars.
Well, you're wrong for that. They're good.
The onion bun.
I can get brisket. I can get meat mountains. I can get their weird version of Philly cheesesteaks. I can get all of the little pepperoni pizza sliders that I want. I can get loaded curly fries.
The pizza sliders.
I can get Jamocha shakes.
Have you tried the sweet tater fries?
No.
Speaking of Jamocha shakes, I made an alcoholic clone of the Jamocha shake at Pinpoint for Halloween. Called Colder Than a Witch's Cauldron. And it's delicious. And it has like 4 kinds of booze in it. And tastes just like an Arby's Jamocha shake.
Hey, I don't know if they still do it, but it was an off-menu item, and you just learned about the Meat Mountain. And if you ever go order that,
can you still get it?
I don't know. When we leave here, I'll find out.
We're gonna go get it. Live on the Green Roof says, "OMG, Arby's, so good." Yeah, I do. I mean, Arby's is good. They're jalapeno poppers, tight. They're mott sticks, tight.
Ooh, they're turnovers, bro.
Beef and cheddar sandwiches.
No,
amazing.
fuck the beef and cheddar. You guys and your beef and cheddar.
That's why it's called Arby's. Do you know why it's called that? It's a spelled out version of the letter R and the letter B. Roast beef. That's why it's called Arby's.
Yeah, but it's not our beefs and cheddars. It's just roast beefs.
It's literally called Arby's.
They got the meats,
no, the roast beef is like the regular medium
No
sandwich.
one wants to eat a fucking dry, plain ass roast beef. Look at this man.
No,
Like,
that's why you put Arby's sauce on
that's
it.
how you get big like him.
Or horsey
You
sauce.
eat the
Or
roast
fucking ketchup.
beefs.
Don't put cheddar. Don't put nacho cheese on it with an onion bun.
You're getting roasted. He's the beef. We
I
got
wish-
the meats up in
wish
here.
it
No, absolutely not. French dip at best. Don't fuck with what's already perfect. Don't put onion buns and nacho cheese. If I want nacho cheese, I'll put nachos and jalapenos on it. You remember the pickle bar where you could serve yourself jalapenos?
Can't do
you
that
can't
in
even do that
COVID.
anymore.
Can't do
COVID.
that COVID. I'm gonna get me an Arby's hat, legit Arby's hat with even the wonky like curve thing. I'm gonna come in here and I'm just gonna eat roast beef.
Roast
and
beef and
cheddar.
cheddar.
Yeah, let's do it.
Nobody likes
Let's do it.
roast beef
Let's
and
do
cheddar.
it.
That's why they
Yeah,
always
let's
do
fucking do
2
it.
for $6 because
Look at
nobody
us.
wants that shit.
Look at how big, handsome boys we are, because we eat roast
Yeah.
beef and cheddar, dog.
Hey,
Dude,
let's
I get
do it.
regular
I wish
ass.
it was horse meat actually. For
You remember the Big Montana?
What?
Horse meat? What, are you going into battle?
Yeah, man.
That's not legal in the United States.
Hey, I mean, wishful thinking. I know.
Oh, whoa,
Dude.
hey, didn't they just
And they
re-legalize
got
it? Like,
good gyros. Their gyros aren't bad. I mean, if it's like after 10 o'clock and I can't go to one of my favorite Mediterranean joints, I'll get one of them cheap ass gyros.
Wait. They got euros at.
Gyros,
I didn't
dude.
know
If
about
you
this.
can slice a type of meat on a slicer,
I
they've got
believe it.
that type of meat.
I believe it.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
They got ham. Mark over here goes, it comes from our founders, Leroy and Forrest Raffle, the Raffle Brothers, RB, not roast beef and cheddar. Thank you, Mark, for blowing it up with the real facts because cheddar on roast beef is dumb city.
Meat and cheese? Ew! I would never quoted Bo. Are you kidding me?
Roast beef and cheddar? No. Provolone, Swiss, white cheeses. Put the white cheeses on it, not that sauce, not Velveeta goo.
You know what's
No.
good on everything? Fucking cheese sauce.
Yeah, dude.
G-
Dina
give me,
says,
give me
yeah.
some Laffy Taffy. I'll dip it in cheese sauce.
What?
Bruh.
Yo, game on. Next week, I'm going to have Laffy Taffy and cheddar cheese sauce goo.
Enough about that. It's about to be McRib season, guys. Come on now.
No, that's how you.
Hey,
No, that's
actually-
like, that's the meal
Controversial.
that says I hate myself. Is
Yo.
like eating a mashed up meat patty
Hey.
shoved into
No,
the
no, no.
shape.
It's actual rib meat, you
Bro.
It's still a mashed up meat patty
You
shoved into the
heretic.
shape. It has
the
like a.
documentary. Pull
It's
up
a
the documentary.
hashtag.
Let the
shape.
producer speak. Come on, get your cam
Oh,
up.
no.
No, come on here. Tell us about the McRib,
Put the
bro.
black and white sad boy cam on to talk
get
about
the real facts.
The McRib, because this is the I hate myself, I eat McRibs cam.
No, shameless plug. Me and Dirty Rice Cambo, we're going to do our annual Henny and McRib night. So shameless plug, twitch.tv/fundamentals if you want to check it out whenever the McRib comes to NWA.
To fruition.
Yeah.
So Mark asked, "Do we follow the nihilist Arby's?" Yes. If you don't follow that, it's
Dude,
awesome.
Arby's and Wendy's on social media are probably the best things. Dude, if you love anime like old Weeb Boy sitting to my right,
Me.
Wendy's social media, they love anime, man. Straight up.
I'm just saying, Arby's is pretty awesome. I get on social media and everyone's like, who even supports Arby's? I think it's like the three of us in this room. That are
I've
just-
seen those memes. It's like, who even eats at Arby's? And I'm like,
I mean, I eat at Arby's
it
like
just- is
almost
it-
every Monday after the show because
I'm
there is
so
literally
jealous.
an Arby's 200 yards that way.
yeah. Plus, have you ever
Yes.
tasted curly fries, dude?
Oh
I
my
mean, come
goodness.
What about potato cakes though?
Hey, this is going to turn into a food review, a fast food review show.
It's gonna
on.
be.
Hey, if we're doing that, and if we're talking about stuff,
gotta get
and
sponsored by
you
Nihilist
went for,
Arby's.
You went
I'm
for the
saying, man.
McRib. Do they still make McGriddles? Because McGriddles are
Dude,
amazing.
the fucking syrup's in the bun, dude.
It's a pancake patty, like sandwich thing.
It's delicious. Oh, what do we? Oh, you? Okay, I thought there was gonna be an image,
Yeah, I wasn't going to pop up, so. It's okay.
but no,
I'm
dude.
breaking it.
Yeah, Arby's is awesome. For
Oh,
those
Johnny
of you-
Dalton coming in with this hot take that he likes Brahms. Straight up.
That's
if-
not region. That's regional. That's not national.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. They have like if you
They have a good burger.
If you've ever had to taste milk before, Brahms is probably the best.
So the fun thing about Brahms is actually incredibly particular about where their beef comes from. And a good friend of mine, her father used to own a ranch that specifically bred cattle for their beef, which was in Missouri. And shout out to Elizabeth. I know she's never going to watch this, but yeah, and I was always like, Brahms. And she goes, get a cheeseburger. That's where my dad's cows go. And I'm like, what?
Hey, dude, if you get Brahms milk and you use it for whatever you use milk for, ideally cereal, you're gonna be like, oh yeah, this is the best. I can't go back.
The ice cream and dairy store.
That's true. Hey,
but you know what? They have crinkle fries, and get out of here with your crinkle fries. Crinkle fries are the absolute worst iteration of fried potatoes on earth.
And steak fries are the best. Battered or steak fries are the best. Curly
steak fries are disgusting.
Are you kidding,
they're
bro?
Like giant, undercooked potato mush.
You've been getting them from the wrong place. What is wrong with you, dude? No way.
Let me tell. Do you like?
We're going
to
a steakhouse.
We're going to Red Robin, and we're going to get unlimited steak fries because I like grody mush.
Is that where you've been eating steak fries?
No, who has steak fries? What? Ryan's Steakhouse? That has existed since 1995.
Ryan's wasn't even a steakhouse. It was a fucking buffet.
No, it was a steak. It was called Ryan's Steakhouse, and they invented the yeast roll.
Yeah, but it was a buffet, and they had the best sweet potato
Ryan's
pie.
Was
good.
It
was so good.
Ryan's
Nothing has ever been better than Ryan's sweet potato pie, ever.
They're yeast rolls.
Maybe Luby's. Luby's has really good buffet.
Oh, Ruby's filed for bankruptcy.
Rest in peace, yeah.
Luby's did?
Yeah, that Luann platter with half of chicken fried steak with extra gravy and a side of mac and cheese and potatoes. That was my thing growing up.
Under where this screen
Anybody was
cuts
like-
off, we're the fattest boys of all time. We're
This
just
is why
the
frame
biggest
is right here.
fat boys ever.
But dude, like Boston Market can suck my nuts because Luby's cafeteria for life. That's what I'm
Dude,
saying.
Luby's is so good. Hey, just before we get too far away from Brahms, that looks so good. I need it.
Subliminals right there.
My yeah, just keep blipping in subliminal. Change his mind like it's like friggin' what's the movie with the dudes and their
Milk Plus. You talking about Clockwork Orange?
Yeah, Clockwork Orange.
How did I know that? How did I know that? You
Because
just said,
I
"What's-
knew it and it wasn't in my
What's this
brain.
movie? And I'm like, yeah, Clockwork Orange.
I have too many movies
But how are we on that wavelength?
I have
though?
like weird ass like Zardoz stuff going on in my brain that no one else has to deal with. You know what I'm saying? Like me and you are the only people that are like, oh, Zardoz. I mean, like,
Of
that's a
course.
movie.
Sean Connery and
where
a
Sean
thong.
Connery like fucks and he has his avatar whip tail for the sex or whatever.
of course.
Yeah. Ew. Get that out of my face.
No onions.
That's more than subliminal. It's making
Get
me
those
sick to
onions
my
out of
stomach.
there.
Hey,
If the McRib
Brahms
had,
is my first claim to fame. I was in a Brahms commercial as a child. Fun fact. Look for me.
I gotta. Can we find it? Can we air that next week?
In 90s Brahms
Can we
commercials.
dig
I'm
up
pretty
this
sure
Brahm commercial that
Yeah.
has the grip?
It was for Cub Scouts. I
Wait,
was a
you're-
Cub Scout
you're
in
in
a
it?
Brahms commercial.
He says he's in it.
Yeah, bro.
Oh shit!
I was like in a tree, and we were. Hey, my parents were watching the stream. Ask my parents about it.
Oh, we need to get a copy of this. We gotta copy it.
But
right
I
now.
can't stop thinking about that McRib though, because if I could get Burger King pickles on it and no onions, like Burger King has the most supreme pickles of any fast food restaurant.
Vince just came in. He said if Star Trek had fast food, the conversation would never end. Star Trek does have fast food.
Yeah,
it's
it's
from a
called
replicator,
Replicator, dude.
It's the fast as fuck. You're like, replicator, make me McRib, and it's like, and it's there.
He goes, the replicator would be like, please specify 1995 McRib, 1988 McRib, or 2010 McRib.
Yeah, and if you got transported from this time to then, you would eat it, and you're like, oh, why does it taste good? And they're like, it's been enhanced with nutritional value, and you're like, no, give me the garbage one.
Yeah, dude.
Turn the safety features off. Look, there's my parents. It's true, real thing. It happened.
I like that idea,
Facts.
Poochie Vince. Like that video.
Oh, I was gonna
If
have
we
you
rip
pour
that
me some
video-
of that beer.
Oh, I haven't.
Okay, pour me some of that
If
beer.
we ask your parents nicely to, transfer, if we rip that video and we can create a
Thank you.
subscriber-only exclusive DISB
Oh,
content
yeah,
via the Twitch.
Patreon.
Yeah, yeah.
to see the grip in a commercial, a Brahms commercial.
Yeah, because when you do a search query, all you see are like old Ernst commercials and Brahms.
Ernest.
Yeah, Ernst.
Dina says, just go get Burger King pickles. That place is just a front for Coke dealers. And hey, Burger King has the best 99-cent cheeseburger you will ever put in your mouth.
Since we have just totally abandoned movies here, and we're just giving you the
This is
best
probably-
content of your life.
This is the best
people.
episode of the Drive-In Speakerbox
Yeah,
ever.
I would agree. Don't even worry about the rest of the episodes. Watch them later. Like them. Subscribe to it. Share it with your friends. Give them a thumbs up. We appreciate it. But if you want pickles, bruh, I'll tell you people that love pickles.
Burger King,
And
it's
you-
the pickles and their mustard. Their
hold on.
mustard is fire, too.
And I'm sorry about this, everyone out there that will be upset when I tell you this. Chick-fil-A, because they put pickles on everything. It's like Frank's Frank's
yeah, but
Red Hot sauce.
Their
I put that
pickles
shit on
hate
everything.
gay people, and I don't
Yeah,
think
that's
I
what
could...
that's why I said sorry, man. I'm coming in for the SJ Dubs out there.
think I
I'm
could-
sorry, but listen, bro. When you're a teenager at the mall and you have no money because you spend all day at the arcade as a legit mall rat, and you have to survive off water with your eyes real big, which was Sprite, because you'd say, "Hey, man, I want a water," and they'd give you Sprite. Chick-fil-A, you can get a bag of pickles for free.
What?
And you can buy buttered buns for 10 cents. What? And when you're a arcade dwelling mall rat playing Initial D and Time Crisis and Marvel vs. Capcom and Tekken and just being the best at everything because you're king of the arcade, the coolest of the boys, you live off pickles and buttered buns and water. Okay, it was the best.
So, Mr.
But
King
you
Cool of the arcade, did you ever
You
win...
can get a bag of pickles from them.
Did you ever win a Soul Calibur competition at the arcade?
Nah, dude, I just stomped everyone in tournament mode. Also, I've beat you at Soul Cal plenty of times. So.
Not at the arcade, because
I beat you at Arcadia many a times.
No, not. They don't have a Soul Calibur at arcade.
Oh,
They
wait,
did
wait a
when we
minute.
played each other.
Wait a
they
minute.
didn't.
Where's my
At
boy John
Arcadia?
Munkus coming in?
Yo,
because
I was at
I-
Arcadia this weekend. I saw Soul Calibur.
I
seen an
stomped
expansion.
you,
Have it 'cause
boys.
I bought it and it didn't have a screen, and we never played together at arcade. But if
We
there is
have.
if there is
We
a
in
Soul
fact
Calibur,
have.
if there is a Soul,
We
no, we
in
haven't.
fact have.
No, we haven't. If there is a Soul Calibur at Arcadia, we're gonna get the producer. He's gonna get a phone and he's gonna point it at us, and I'm gonna beat your ass at Soul Calibur.
You talking the cabinet?
I'm talking
because they
the-
didn't have a cabinet. We played it on console,
Yeah,
but we
and
played
console,
it at the arcade.
That's what I'm talking about.
But
On
it was
console,
at the arcade.
Fuck console. I can't do console. You give me an arcade, I've won tournaments on that shit.
Hey, remember that?
It's the only game I'm good at.
Remember that barcade that existed for a while, and you used to go repair their arcade games? You remember?
Yeah, and the block button always was broken. It was
Yeah.
called
Oh, you're
Dixon
talking
Street
about
Social
Social
Club.
Club.
Yeah.
they
Did we
didn't-
ever play each other on their Soul Cal 2 cab?
We're terrible at DDR.
Because I'm pretty sure I would have whooped you on
Yeah,
that.
because player 2 didn't have half the
Yeah,
buttons.
they didn't have anyone to service those.
Swap me to the other side. I use Mitsurugi. It's just going to be verticals and kicks. I'm going to ruin you, dude.
Shameless plug to
Who
friends over at Arcadia Retrocade.
Dude, Arcadia Retrocade reopened.
It's amazing. The expansion is
Oh,
awesome.
their expansion opened.
Oh yeah, I was there on Friday after Sam and I went to the Grid Esports.
Hey,
tournament.
legitimate, if you are from the area, make sure you check out Pinpoint and Arcadia. They're both very sick, super cool places to go to. And if you're not, they are worth traveling here for. You can get some of that retro everything. You can go to a Pinpoint for Pinball Bar, and right now through the month of October, Halloween pop-up, and Arcadia, which is always vintage, always super
Arcadia
rad.
rules. Shout
Yeah.
out to my boy Shay Mathis.
Yeah, shout out to Shay for sure.
Shay's awesome.
He's a cool dude, and he's been closed for a really long time. And this guy is so staunch in his, like, I refuse to increase my prices.
Listen,
I'm gonna
$5
dub-"
gets you in. You can play
Yeah.
every game in the place for as long as you want. It's the best.
He's like, I refuse to increase my prices, but I'm gonna double the amount of entertainment that I have, and it's just crazy. Oh, there he is. There's Shay right there. Look at
was
this
us,
dude.
on Friday.
Look at that.
Awesome guy.
Following COVID guidelines.
There's the
Cool.
producer and Sam. Shout outs to Sam. Good times at Arcadia Retrocade. Yeah, such a great place. Such a great place. Johnny Dalton says Arcadia is my church. Yeah, man. I mean, I donated a lot of time to Arcadia
and they-
repairing their games.
they
And
got
I
all
donated a lot of games. That Galaga 88's mine. Magic Sword. I donated that one. I donated Die Hard Cab.
In the
Like, all-
expansion,
yeah.
they have the mural that goes all the way across, and you can look for all of your 70s and 80s and early 90s
hey,
icons of entertainment.
Producer, question. Did they have the Halloween game? I donated this a long time ago, but the shotguns were always broken. It's like a spooky game. I can't remember the name of the game, but you go around and you shoot werewolves and Frankenstein.
I didn't see that. We were so overwhelmed at that point. We were already a few henny shots.
Because you were
in.
just like, penny shots.
So there was
Mortal
like
Kombat.
there were so many machines in the new expansion, and then the way They just Shay arranged it, and yeah, there are machines that definitely need some service, like the T2 arcade. They got the
So
shoot 'em
the
up.
problem with the T2 arcade, that has been a problem since I was helping them work on
Yeah,
things.
is that the second gun or the first player one gun?
No, it's not just the gun; it's the board. There's a problem on the board set that we could not squash, and we have. Well, that's a different conversation altogether. But it's nerd shit.
Before we get
It's
to
resistors and transistors and capacitors and circuits
nerd
and
shit.
integrated circuits
before
and
we get
RAM and ROM.
too far away from everything, Dina, no, Vince pointed out not even movie tie-in food, just food when we were talking about it. Listen, every food is movie tie-in food if you
If you want to dig deep enough.
if you want to find a way to get it there. He's taken full Thanksgiving meals into the theater before.
Was that Die Hard? When I pulled the full
think so.
Thanksgiving dinner into Die Hard, and I had turkey
Wait, how
and
does that work?
stuffing and green beans and all the fixins.
Yeah, and the TTs got in on it.
Dude, so
Remember?
yeah, because I brought like
I missed out on my
'cause I
Thanksgiving
called into
meal,
Village Inn.
but the TTs.
Oh, Village.
I called
Inn.
into Village Inn because they do the Thanksgiving dinner, and I said, I want like 4 Thanksgiving dinners to go. And they're like, yeah, we got you, dude. It was like cranberry sauce and turkey and dressing and rolls and green beans. And I was like, all right, when we get these things. And I went into the theater, and I because I'm a man of thick constitution.
I told you below this. I
Yeah,
mean,
we're
think
just
about
giant.
all. Yeah,
We're like size 78 waist, and so I got my jacket, and it was cold weather because Thanksgiving, and I was like, oh my god, and I waddled into the theater, and then we got in there, and I was like, who wants some Thanksgiving dinner? And I was whipping out Thanksgiving dinners out of my jacket, and we watched Die Hard, and it was awesome because someone dared me to do it. Was it you? Do you?
no, you did it to yourself when we were on
the air, and everyone
Yeah.
was like, yeah, please do it, and yeah, okay, I did it, I
So-
did it.
So, talking about movie tie-in food, Vince said he looked up the most successful movie tie-in food, and it was Lord of the Rings meals at Denny's. Lord of the Rings had a lot of successful movie tie-ins, and I've talked about it. I have Lord of the Rings Burger King goblets.
I don't know.
still.
Batman and
They're
Taco
super
Bell
rad.
had a really long
I
stint.
have my
of
Batman
success.
glasses too. I got my Batman mugs, my Batman glass. I have the short ones and the tall, skinny ones. I have those, man.
My favorite glasses at home are my
Star
Star
Wars.
Wars Burger King glasses.
Oh yeah, if you're talking about movie tie-in food, if you include fast food, Back to the Future, Star Wars, Beetlejuice, there's some that have to Cars, Tarzan. We've talked about those Tarzan straws before that Mickey D's had.
We have.
Yeah, there's lots of movie.
Do you realize?
Tron.
You realize the show has gone on 20 minutes over just talking about fast food.
This happens every now and then. We're acting
So
like it's
next
never
week,
happened before.
we just need to bring fast food, and it just needs to be an unbagging video.
I feel like I'm gonna be judged like every time.
No,
I walk
no, no.
in.
And then, but here's the thing: we're gonna get 1 trillion million viewers on YouTube.
I like
because
how we have the 2 fat boys and we got the 2 fit boys off screen just judging us.
Yeah,
like- but at the same time, they chime in. They're like, "Yeah, that's the one." It's like, how come you
we
have
got
that body?
We got
and
an
I
audience
have-
member over here
I
that
have
rode
this
his
one?
bike 17 miles to come watch, and we got this dude who can do a handstand push-up on one hand.
Yeah, his like
and
arms
us,
are as thick as
and
my
we're like,
legs.
let's
I'm
go get
6.5
mozzarella
feet tall.
sticks and
Hey,
talk
no
about
judgment, no
fucking
judgment.
Star Trek.
It's your body. No
Yeah,
judgment here.
but how come they can
Oh,
eat it
there's
and
always
then look like
judgment.
them, and we eat it and we look like us? I think is
Yeah, but who's the star of the show?
commitment to getting rid of it afterward.
Yeah, you could play pull the star card.
He has his own camera.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, yeah, well, we have our own. We used to have 3 cameras. Remember that?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
can still add him. There's 2 empty tripods.
I'm just lazy. I don't like setting it all up.
Yeah.
All right. Truck Dad says Rugrats Go Wild had scratch and stiff companions at the movie at BK. Dude, BK had a lot of really. Burger King is the sleeper hit. McDonald's, they got the fries on lock.
Man, I'm getting hungry.
But BK, everybody's getting hungry now. Yo, well, what time is
I'm
it?
gonna go get a meat fucking Mountain Dew.
No,
I'm
there's
telling you. Every meat that didn't swim at some point is on that sandwich, and you have like 2 pieces of cheese that come on it. It has chicken tenders as its base layer, Playboy. You feel me on this? And you know what makes
You
it
remember
better?
when the KFC
You know what makes
Double
it
Down
better?
happened?
Oh yeah, dude, don't even get me started on
Yeah.
Double Down because I need that in my life again. You know what makes a meat mountain better? When you
Meat.
get some fucking cheese sauce on that.
Oh, no,
dude.
no,
And
no!
you put it on the roast beef layer.
Yeah, as long as it's not
You
like
put ketchup.
Parmesan.
Don't put ketchup.
What's up with?
It has fucking brisket on there. You're not gonna put ketchup on brisket? What is?
No,
are
you don't
a
put ketchup on
monster?
brisket. You put ketchup just on the
offended.
roast beef. There's something about, I don't know, and this is weird, and I admit that this is weird, and I don't like it, and it tastes.
We roasted this for 36 hours and curated it, and it's the finest of beefs. You're like, ketchup sounds pretty good.
No, I'm
Hey,
the
we
guy.
brought you your steak, your Kobe beef, and you're like, you got any fucking ketchup, dude?
So no, I'm that guy. I'm the guy that's like I'm the guy that'll pay $100 for a steak. I'm that fucking guy.
This cow lived to be 35. We massaged its butt every day, fed it beer and the finest of wheatgrass. This is really how Kobe beef is treated, y'all. That's why it costs so fucking much. And then Ding Dong over here is like,
I'm not gonna-
you got any Heinz 57, bitch? Because I'm trying to like. Eat
I would
here.
no. But when I'm at Arby's, I don't know. There's
You
something
just
about
whip out ketchup packets, start like flapping the motherfucker so you can like open the shit for your Kobe beef.
when I was a kid, there was something about the Arby's roast beef sandwich, and like I accidentally started dipping it in ketchup when I was a kid, and there's something about it that I'll dude.
The only time ketchup should ever be consumed is if you mix it with Mickey D's barbecue sauce to dip your chicken nuggets into.
Everybody has their thing, and that's
But
your
the
thing.
white meat chicken nuggets
Sriracha
ruined
ketchup.
it. You need that classic pink paste nugs they used to feed us before anyone knew or cared because the internet wasn't around to tell you it was pink paste. You just knew that it was like
I'll still
slightly
eat the
dark
pink
meat.
paste. I will eat it.
I mean, they were better chicken nuggets, man. I don't
Dude,
know.
it was a better time, but no, there's something about ketchup.
How do we get back to this?
There's-
What have we done?
There's something about ketchup on an Arby's roast beef sandwich that I really like. Like I'm a medium rare like steak. I will pay $75 for a steak and be like, yo, dude, don't put anything on this. It's amazing. I'm that guy. I'm a foodie. I'm a
Steaks
huge
are
foodie.
great without sauce on them. Yeah, there's like
I own a sous vide machine in my house. Like I'm that idiot. But I will put ketchup on my Arby's sandwich.
You know what? They're talking about the Fit Boys and then coming back to Terminator Dark Fate, like at the top of the show.
Full circle.
Yeah, you know what? I would feel really bad about this and how fat we really are underneath this screen cutoff.
Yeah,
Except,
dude, I adjust the lighting to make us look ultimate.
except there's a great video on YouTube, and one of the only good things about Terminator Dark Fate was their press junkets. And Arnold and Sarah Connor herself, can't remember her name right now, and I can't believe I can't remember her name. What is it? I got nothing.
I'm burping. Sorry.
They were given on YouTube. You can find it after you like us and subscribe to us and check our notifications or turn them off. Just if you like and subscribe, you can even turn them off. But it'd be great if you turn them on.
We don't
Listen.
have enough stuff to ignore.
It would. Yeah, that's true. You come.
just
We
once
come.
a week.
We come at you once a week. But you can find Linda Hamilton. There it is. I remembered. Arnold and Linda Hamilton.
And her sister died.
Eating. Oh, that's awful. Eating all
was a
sorts
twin.
of junk food. Yeah, the twin used NT2 for the mirror carving in Arnie's skull scene, and the scene. Yeah.
Yeah, of course we all remember
the
it from that.
nuke in the playground. But they eat junk food, and Arnold just goes ham on like everything.
Ham. He
Yeah,
goes
they-
ham on ham.
No, but they give him like full blown like Austrian and German sweets and junk food, and he just like can't stop eating candy.
Because you can't.
And it's like, dude, if Arnold can do it,
We can do it. We're Arnold.
yeah, I wish. That's so bad.
Okay, well, before we get too crazy off topic, well, let's we gotta cut this
brought it
thing.
back
We gotta
to
cut this
topic.
thing.
I'm talking about
All
movies.
right. Well, thanks for tuning in, guys. Like, subscribe, Facebook, Twitch, YouTube. Get us on that MP3. Do whatever you got to do on Twitter or Stitch or Spotify.
Comment, message us. We'll get back at you.
Yeah, we will. Goodbye.